All right. Morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Market Trading. I'm your host, Tone Vays. Let me set up my camera here. That's a little bit better. All right. Morning, everyone. I'll fix that problem. Okay. Let's go to the charts. I have 40 minutes maximum. And then there is a hard stop happening at 1 o'clock Eastern. So let's go. Let me do this, and here we go. Hold on. Okay. Long-term chart, we're in the middle of the month. Everything so far is working out. It was strange how most of the people from into the Cryptoverse channel thought that my $300,000 target in the second half of 2025 was completely ridiculous. I don't think it's that ridiculous. I think Bitcoin is perfectly capable of reaching 300,000 2 years from now. That's a long time. And this bear market has been super extended. This would be like over a year after the next halving. And considering how many people expected 300,000 in like 2021, getting it closer to 2026, I think is reasonable, but we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. Weekly chart, we are back. We are back to a bit of a bullish side to the week. This is good. Look, I would be perfectly okay with this double bottom. It's just not standard. But just because something is not standard doesn't mean that it can't rally the price of Bitcoin to new all-time highs. I would love for this bear market to end sooner than later. So I will be perfectly happy. However, what about our allocation? I haven't looked at the allocation chart in several days. Well, nothing has changed, right? We have our short-term moving average has turned, but it has not yet crossed the intermediate term moving average. So until the price is sitting above the intermediate term moving average and they have crossed over, there is no reason to take on any bullish positions. So I would wait until we break above, say, closer to 27,000. And it would have to happen next candle, but next candle starts, well, later tonight. So we're just going to stay patient. And there's no reason to rush into bullish positions because remember, our target is 300,000. It doesn't matter if you get in at 26 or 29 if your target is a factor of 10. Tone Vays website, I have the MRI indicator. You can find it in products and services. Same thing with my on-demand videos. The Financial Summit coming to the UAE, November 5 to 10. We still have rooms available. And this is where we discuss all things investing and trading. And for those interested more in Bitcoin discussions, come and join us in Las Vegas along with our poker tournament. PM is asking to compare bear market cycles. Yeah, we can do that. Also, before I go on, at the top of the hour, this is the Swan signal. We recorded it yesterday. So check it out. It's going to premiere in 37 minutes at the top of the hour. I thought it was going to premiere at the top of this past hour. And I'm like, shit, I'm like competing with myself. But check out my discussion with Dr. Jeff Ross. It was absolutely excellent. So check that out on the Swan Bitcoin channel. And I will be at Pacific Bitcoin. So I'm sure they have it in the video description. They don't. That's weird. But I will be at Pacific Bitcoin as a speaker in October. That's their conference. Also, these are my notifications. Let's go to Financial Summit. We have an amazing Twitter space coming up for you guys in 3.5 hours. In 3.5 hours, one of the people that I followed religiously about 15 plus years ago was, where is he? There he is. Chris Chiavacco is going to be joining us on the Financial Summit Twitter space. You are welcome to do some homework. Go check out his latest YouTube video. I have him right here. He does have a YouTube channel as well, Chiavacco Capital. Check out his latest video. Whoa, he's making longer videos now. I remember him being 20 minutes. Man, don't you hate those people that make unreasonably long videos, like an hour or two long? I can't make short videos, guys. My videos are like hours. So please check out his latest video. We're going to discuss it along with his short takes blog, which is similar to the YouTube channel. So maybe check out some of his short takes on ccmarketmodel.com. All right, next, what are we going to discuss next? You know what? Let's go. People liked the readout of the news. I have not, I've been on Twitter Spaces this morning, arguing with another traditional finance person who thinks the Fed is the problem to everything, though crypto people think that as well. I don't think the Fed is the problem to everything. I think the government and fiscal policy is the problem to everything, and the Fed is just trying to do the best they can with the tools that they have. I really don't fault the Fed. I don't think the Fed's a conspiracy, but I do think the federal government can be reduced by 80 to 90%. Okay, let's review what happened. This tweet was sent out just a few hours ago. So let's take a look at the latest market stories. US CPI data revealed to be 3.7%, which is slightly above expectation of 3.6%. We're going to talk about that. Oil prices hitting a 2023. Oh man, I should have my app read it to us. Why am I reading shit? Can I do this? Will it do it? No, it can't. Damn it. Can't read Twitter. Shoot. That sucks. Too bad. Oil prices hitting a 2023 all-time high. Will it lead to stock market declines? I'm not sure. That's what the pundits say. That's the headline, but I'm not sure about that. UK economy contracts 0.5. Why is anybody surprised? I talked a lot of shit about the UK on the last stream. I can continue talking shit about the UK. The UK needs to grow a pair of cojones and start making their own, geopolitical decisions and not listen to the United States, sending them down the toilet before the US goes there. That's all I'll say about the UK. You guys have your own problems, and you need to come up with your own solutions and not let America make your problems bigger with their ridiculous solutions. You have smart people there. You should be able to figure it out. US household liquidity to run out by May 2024. I'm not going to buy this either. Somehow the US consumer finds a way to get liquidity, or the government will just print it for them. So we'll find out which way that goes. Impeachment inquiry against President Biden initiated. I hope that actually works out for him, but I doubt it. The Justice Department is kind of liberal, so that's not going to go anywhere. A potential US government may shut down. I hope so. Shit. There's only one problem with the US. You can't get your passport. So get your passport now. Like if your passport has like 3 years or 4 years of runway, great. Here's the other problem with the US government shutdown. This is what pisses me off about the US government shutdown. The US government shuts down, right? So the government employees don't work. So the government employees get a vacation. When the government employees come back to work, they get paid for all the vacation they had during the shutdown. Now, what I would do if I was king is that when the government shuts down, no one gets paid. You don't get paid. So don't shut down not the congressman, nobody. Nobody gets paid. You don't get back pay for your vacation during the shutdown. But the less the US government, federal government does, the better everybody is. iPhone finally decided to give you a USB-C port. 10 years too late, but thanks for trying. Fed to keep rates steady. That's very, very likely. OPEC, 3.3 million barrels through deficit. Oh, that's interesting. Country Garden wins a vote to accept 7. They decide. I'm not an expert at that. That's China, guys. I don't know much about China. Okay, that was the macro stuff. 1 second. Muted in time. OneCoin co-founder sentenced to 20 years. Excellent. Kathy Wood anticipates SEC approve multiple ETFs. Nope, I will take the under on that. Another exchange hack, 28 million. What a surprise. Gensler recognizes crypto as a security with fraud. Yeah, not surprised there either. New addresses are hitting all-time high levels. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Coinbase integrates Lightning Network. Thanks for trying. Again, a year or two too late. Not as bad as the iPhone, but you get there. Binance. Binance is in trouble. Okay, let's get back to the charts. No, let's go to CPI. The CPI numbers are out. And I like looking at CPI numbers on a historical timeline. Okay, so here's your historical timeline of the CPI on the historical timeline. You have the CPI and you have the core CPI. So you can see it right there. The CPI is at 3.7. The core CPI, which is all items less food and energy, is the line in red, and that's coming in higher. Okay, so less food and energy is actually coming in higher. Now, oil prices are rising, so energy prices are rising. But I guess it has to be the food. The food prices are not rising that much, but I believe these lines are going to cross once again. And you will see the overall CPI number be higher than the core CPI number in the near future. Nakafomo says iPhone was forced to implement USB-C in Europe. Well, look, I'm not saying the government is always bad. The government forcing iPhone to implement a USB-C is one of those rare times where the government actually looks out for the consumer. Of course, the government doesn't give a shit about the consumer. It was basically the UK politicians that were pissed. They needed a different cable, right? So they did it for themselves, but they helped everyone by forcing Apple to be on a standard. See, this is the reason for standards. The government enforced a standard to make the lives of everyone better. Yes, there are good uses for the government. This is one of them. But for every good thing that the government does, there's usually about 10 where they make your life worse. So the CPI number is, we hit higher numbers back in 2008 when shit hit the fan a little bit. I think these numbers are going to slowly come down overall, and they're going to just hover in that 2.5 to 3.5% range, but higher than the 2% that the Fed wants. Aliens in Mexico, like illegal aliens or like ET aliens? I'm not up to date on alien stories, guys. Actually, I'm not up to date on alien stories in either case. I'm not really up to date on the illegal alien situation crossing the U.S. border. I have not kept up with that, or any other border for that matter, including, like the Ukrainian border. Nor am I up to date on ET style aliens as well. Have not had the time, sorry. ET, got it. All right. Bitcoin chart. Well, the daily chart is capturing some of those end of day losses from yesterday. I am not going to delete this red arrow. I am not going to delete this box. I think it is still possible for a little flash crash to wipe out everyone that's rushing into the bullish trade. This is why I am not rushing into the bullish trade. You will see me going all FOMO when we break the prior swing high and get above this moving average cluster. Until we get above that $27,000 area, I'm only going to see this as a dead cat bounce because it needs to prove to me that it can break the prior swing high. Until it does, only short-term trades if I was in a trading contest, for example, to the upside, of course. 1 hour chart. Let's go to the 4 hour chart. No MRIs there, so we're just gonna wait. Oh, let's see what alphanumetrics says. I kind of dropped alphanumetrics because I was on a guest on other people's podcasts. We're still in this red wave, so nothing really special happening on alpha. Oh, I don't need it there. I need it here. Yeah. But now it's like they're conflicting with each other, so I'm gonna leave it like that. All right, more charts, more charts. Oh, we are rising, and man, this thing is ready to break out some more on the GBTC discount. It should be less of a discount. Tablet is saying Putin plus Kim equals question mark. Equals the US needs to get their shit together, right? I mean, why is Putin visiting North Korea? Why is Putin giving North Korea long-range missiles that can hit Washington? That is, it's not that Putin really loves North Korea, is that it's a geopolitical statement telling the United States, stop effing around, because what you're doing in Ukraine, we can do with North Korea, and now you're going to have a problem the way we have a problem. So it's a message to the United States. I mean, is North Korea going to supply some weapons to Russia? Maybe. Does Russia need them? Maybe. I don't know. But Russia is going to be helping North Korea the way they were helping Iran. Compare the bear markets. Yes. Let's do that. Low chart layout. Let me see. I had it here. What the hell did I name it? Halving, maybe? Time to halving. Boom. Okay, I need to start these. I have two charts. Let's open them. Okay, so let's do this one first. Okay, here we go. So you can see right here on this chart where we are in terms of the halving cycle. Oh man, forgot a dollar sign. Okay, so this is comparing all of the prior paths since the halving, or in the case of the red line, since inception. Okay, so Bitcoin launches here, but Bitcoin didn't get its price to here. So how did I mark this line? Well, we know when the first piece of data comes out on this chart, it was in 2010. So I just use this many months or weeks, whatever, since the Genesis block. And you can see how the low in the price of Bitcoin, or the low area for the price of Bitcoin, comes in this zone. And now we are almost a year since that zone started. We are coming up in October. And what happens around this time? Well, back in the original, we had a little bit of a scare. And in the others, we had a bit of a run up and then a bit of a drop before the halving. Let's see how quickly we get to the halving. The next halving is scheduled for March or April of 2024. So this might actually last longer than all the others. That would be interesting if this black line goes longer than the green line. I prefer to look at it on this chart. Let's remove that original line. We tweeted these out on the Financial Summit Twitter. Check MFC. Okay, I'll try to remember. So if we look at it on this, in this situation, I think we tweeted it out before this drop right here. So now we're dropping a little bit. You can see how this is another nice area of consolidation. At least it was back in that green line. And this was the COVID situation. I don't think we're going to crash like we did in COVID. I think if it wasn't for COVID, these lows of 7,000 would have probably held. I think this would have been the low if it wasn't for the COVID lockdowns. Of course, we could have a crazier insanity like COVID, where the price of Bitcoin will crash or Binance, say, goes down. Oh man, forgot a dollar sign here as well. Okay. Probably put it like here. Okay. And so this is where that final dip comes. So sometime in September, October, this is where you get your final dip. Again, I'm going to ignore this. It helped me win a bet that Crypto Man Rand still owes me an unreasonably expensive steak dinner. I'll make him pay through the nose for it. And because we made a bet back in May, and I said Bitcoin will fall below 4,500, and it did fall below 4,500. We fell to 3.8 over here, fell to 3.8. This is like a weekly close. On a weekly close, it was 4.9, but on an intra-week spike, it was down to 3.8. And I think these lows would have held. So assuming these lows hold, we did get a new swing low. I still think this low is going to hold. I still think 20K low is going to hold. So either we just made a low or a new low is coming in the $22,000, $23,000 area sometime in the next 2 months. And then the bull market should begin. And remember, right after this blue, where this blue ends, is where the green begins. So the blue ends right here, and then you pick it up from the green. And this is on like percent basis. Really cool chart, by the way. Durango. Oh man, I know someone else in Durango. Used to appear on his channel every now and then. I'm not going to dox the name. Though I think I just did. I need to go to Durango. I heard great things. Okay. If you know who I'm talking about, please don't post their name. I'm going to remove the comment. Keep it to yourself. Okay, next. Okay, I need to reach out to an old friend. You just reminded me. Okay. Where are we going next? Oil. Natural gas, that's natural gas, right? Yeah. I'm bullish on natural gas. I'll just leave it there. Yes, as oil prices rise, inflation will rise. That is true. Consumers may have to, reduce their spending on other things. You can see where the price of oil is. We are almost reaching a 12-month high. We are on a new annual high, but we're not there on a 12-month high yet. We're about the decade high Well, we were significantly higher. We hit 130 back in March of 22. Isn't that crazy? We went to like negative prices in 2020. That's a daily chart, no wonder. We went to negative prices in 2020 and then rallied to 120. How insane is that? How insane is that? I think we're going back to 120. Oh, today's Wednesday, but I don't think we have the new numbers yet. We have the number from 9/1. We don't have the number for, yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow's video will have the latest number. Gold waiting for the big breakout. S&P 500, I am generally bullish, but September is usually a bad month for the stock markets. On a daily scale, it's just treading water. This is my outlook for the daily chart. I think it has been very accurate for the last 2 months. It's not perfect. I thought we can go a smidge lower, but overall, this was my outlook, and I'm sticking to it since mid-August. It's been a month. How's Ugly? Yeah, I just chatted with Ugly yesterday. He's not going to be able to make it to Dubai, but he's gonna make it to Las Vegas. Come out to Las Vegas and chat with Ugly. I think you have listed the historic buy and sell of U.S. government in oil. Well, I have a spreadsheet. It's a public spreadsheet. Let me make sure that anyone with this link, like, I don't want you guys to edit my spreadsheet, right? Let me cut screen share real quick. Okay. Let me go back to screen share. Oh, my camera's not on. Sure. Let's try that again. Okay. I have this spreadsheet. I'll post it in the live chat. Enjoy. I just need to make sure that no one can edit the spreadsheet but me. But that's my spreadsheet. Now, oil is tab 3. All the US government data is on the other tabs. But yeah, this is it's not a historic, right? I can go further back, but this is just Biden, the Trump and Biden administrations. So it's the Trump and Biden administrations buying or selling oil from the reserve. Somebody wanted me to look at some stock. MFC. On a monthly level, it looks very bullish. Alphanumeric, well, I don't know if it's meant to be on a monthly basis. Alphanumerics does not agree with my bullishness. On a weekly scale, look at that beautiful MRI top right here. On a weekly scale, I would be neutral. I'd like to see the numbers. Hold on. Yeah, the stars are there. Let's display trend numbers. It's neutral. If there's a nice bullish week tomorrow, then it's kind of bullish. I don't like the lower low, but I like the higher high. The moment it breaks the high, I become very bullish. And the moment it breaks the MRI resistance line, I become way more bullish. 1 second. Oh, wait. I'm like replying to messages. Let's go back to the Twitter. Let's go back to Twitter. Financial Summit handle. We tweeted something else out last night. Oh, Coinbase is leaving India. India is a big market. India is a big future market. A few markets to keep an eye on. These are going to be across all different time frames. We're going to try to tweet these out more often. I really like the impressions. We're really trying to grow the Financial Summit Research Network. And India stock market, look at this monster rally since the beginning of September. This is daily. Imagine the stock market goes up 5% in less than 2 weeks, right? That's crazy. And here's the Indian stock market, and it's reaching a daily MRI peak. So those of you that pay attention to the Indian stock market, do be careful. Next week is an MRI top, but it's already showing signs of slowing down. Bitcoin, of course, on the weekly MRI top. So we still have Bitcoin. We might have Bitcoin in here all the time as one of the boxes. The Dow Transportations, this is still putting pressure on the stock market. I'm sure you guys are familiar with the relationship between Dow Transports and the Dow. It's a historical relationship. There's always been a Dow Transports. You know, back in the day it was railroads, and now it's mostly cars. But you know, it's just basically the transportation side, which is always important. Now, so these days there's also planes, and I am waiting for an MRI buy in the Dow Transports. Lumber started to go up the moment it hit its MRI buy on the daily. So cost of lumber could rise. I do think it can break the prior swing highs. Uranium has been on a complete tear. I know there's some people in the live chat always ask for uranium charts. So we thought we would do that as well. Uranium is coming up on a weekly MRI buy. It's already making its reversal candle here on a weekly scale. And YOLO, the cannabis index, that has been on a huge rally. And guess what? It just hit a daily MRI top. So be careful with your cannabis investments. All right, so that's your overview of some peak markets. All right, any other questions before I head off? Guys, you will see me again in 7 minutes if you go to Swan Signal, Swan's YouTube channel, Swan Bitcoin. Check out their YouTube channel, and I will be on with Jeff Ross in 7 minutes. This was recorded yesterday, but and definitely join us in Twitter Spaces in 3 hours from now. In exactly 3 hours from now, we will be having a chat with Chris Chiavaco. You should follow his YouTube channel. Also follow his Twitter channel. Here he is. He will be joining us in Twitter Spaces. G20 meeting was in India. That's correct. It was in India. It's interesting. I've been trying to pay attention to what's going on at the G20. It looks like the United States, EU forgot about Ukraine during the G20 meeting because none of the other countries want to hear them talking about Ukraine. And this is trouble for Ukraine because it's possible that Ukraine is starting to lose Western support. At least the West did not bombard the BRIC countries with their views on the Ukraine situation. Xi and Putin did not show up because nobody wants to talk to Biden. Any other comments? What's going on in Vegas right now? I don't know. Ransomware attack shutting down Las Vegas. Okay. No idea. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. Rick Rule to talk about uranium. I'm not familiar with Rick Rule's work, but yeah, we'll have to look into it. All right. Bye, guys. Don't forget, our events are coming up. UAE, Las Vegas.